There are three reasons why I'm interested in Eugene Sandow. First, I'm interested in Eugene Sandow's use of the law of muscle irradiation, which stands for the principle that when a muscle is hard at work, it will recruit its neighboring muscles, and if they're already hard at work, then it will amplify their strength. And Eugene Sandow was able to outlift other professional strongmen by using the law of muscular irradiation. And you can test this principle for yourself by just clenching your fist as tight as you can. And if you do, you'll find that not only will your finger flexor muscles contract, but so will your forearms and your bicep. And if you squeeze hard enough, so will your pectorals. You touch your pectorals while you do that, you'll see it's contracted. And there's other techniques you can do, like squeezing your armpits. And if you do that, you feel your lats will contract. If you squeeze your sphincter muscles, like if you're trying to pinch a coin with it, you'll find your glutes have contracted. If you root your feet to the ground, you will find that your hamstrings and your thigh muscles and calf muscles have contracted. If you squeeze your belly button in as tight as you can, if you squeeze your abdominal region, you'll find that all your core muscles have contracted. And that it's actually possible to do all these techniques together and contract your muscles. And according to Eugene Sandow, that this can be a form of progressive overload. So that's the second reason why I'm interested in it, is this theory of strength development through muscular contraction using the brain by the mind-muscle connection, or the brain consciously telling the muscles to contract. So in essence, what it means is that you could develop progressive overload just by flexing your muscles. And the third reason is Eugene Sandow's theory of grip compression as a means of progressive overload, which is why I've spent over $1,400 on these Sandow antique adjustable spring grip dumbbells. But what I want to talk today about is this theory of progressive overload by muscular contraction using the brain, the mind-muscle connection. And I see a lot of potential benefits from this. For instance, if you're working and you're being forced to work overtime, you can't get your workout in, that if you can just flex your muscles like Eugene Sandow said, then you can do this anywhere. You can go in a bathroom and do it, or you can do it from your desk. If you're an invalid, if you're in a hospital and you have IV tubes stuck in you and you can't get out of bed, then you can use the muscular contraction method that Sandow advocates to get a workout in, even though you got IV tubes in you and you can't get out of bed. I see this potential benefits for the elderly who can't afford to buy exercise equipment because they're trying to survive on Social Security, or the poor, or inmates in prison who are in solitary confinement or protective custody or some type of segregated housing, that even though they're given 1 hour exercise every other day or 3 times a week, depending on the prison policy, then usually what that is, they're walking down a corridor. They're not really given any ways to exercise, but they could use Sandow's progressive overload by muscular contraction, because Eugene Sandow's theory of progressive overload by muscular contraction can be done anywhere, by anybody, rich or poor, whether they can get out of bed or not. So if you're a military personnel who's in a submarine deep beneath the ocean, can utilize this to get a workout in. Or if you're an infantryman in a fighting position on a defensive perimeter, or maybe you're on a movement to contact operation, you know, you're doing a reconnaissance patrol, that you can work out anywhere. It doesn't matter where you're at, because it doesn't require equipment. It just requires your brain to consciously contract your muscles. And that's what I want to show you today. What I want to do is show you two techniques that you can utilize using Eugene Sandow's theory of progressive overload by muscular contraction, using the brain via the mind-muscle connection. And the first technique is just take one of your hands. It could be your left hand or your right hand, doesn't matter, because you're going to reverse positions anyway. But clasp your, in this case I'm going to use my right hand clasping my left hand. And then I'm just going to, with my right hand, I'm going to press downward. And with my left hand, I'm going to press upward. And then I'm going to contract. I'm going to consciously use my brain to contract. Now I can do this isometrically, and I know if I did it correctly because my muscles will be shaking. And they are right now, my muscles are trembling. So this is an isometric technique because isometric refers to a muscular contraction without joint movement. But I can also do this dynamically. And a dynamic exercise is a muscular contraction with joint movement. So what I can do, I can just ease up on my top hand and just let my bottom hand rise slowly and then reverse it. Put more force on my top hand. And I can just do this. And I can control the speed. And by doing this, I'm not only working my biceps, but if I contract my triceps on the way down, I can get a total arm workout, both biceps and triceps. And then all I have to do is just reverse hands and do the same thing on the opposite hand. And if I do it correctly, I'll be trembling. My muscles will be shaking. And if they don't tremble, that means I'm slacking. Then the second technique I want to show you is just take your right hand, put it behind your back, and grab it with your left hand. And now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to contract my triceps. And by doing that, I'm doing an isometric exercise because I'm contracting the triceps without joint movement, which is the definition of isometric, a muscular contraction without joint movement. But I can turn into a dynamic movement, a dynamic exercise, and dynamic means a muscular contraction with joint movement, just by pulling my arms back in this fashion. And if I want to take it a step further, I can lift my arms up and then out. And then I just need to reverse positions. Isometrically, and then dynamically. Lift up and out. And remember, I can use other techniques. I can squeeze my armpits and my fists and root my feet and squeeze my sphincter and suck in my belly button, tighten my core, and squeeze all of my muscles at the same time. And if I do it correctly, my muscles will be trembling, and if they're not trembling, it means I'm slacking. Okay, there you go, guys. That's an arm workout, working both the biceps and the tricep using Eugene Sandow's theory of progressive overload by muscular contraction using the brain via the mind-muscle connection. Okay, that's all for now. Please like, subscribe, and hit your bell notification so you'll be notified when I create more YouTube videos. And if you have any comments, I'd like to hear them. I'm interested to hear what your ideas are. Already I've got some feedback that has helped me create some of my videos. At least it gives me ideas about what you're thinking. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts, because I legitimately am interested in learning new ways to develop muscular endurance, size, and strength. And if we get a dialogue going, then perhaps even if I can't reach a lot of people, maybe you could be that catalyst. And that I think that information is one of the few things that you can give away and have more than what you started with. Because I don't lose my knowledge by sharing it with you. So my goal is to help others, because I know what it's like to be obese, and I know what it's like to be weak, and I know the frustrations of yo-yo dieting and having a protruding belly so big that it's hard to find clothes to fit you, because once you get past size 42 for men, you can't buy clothes off the rack. You have to wear suspender straps to keep your pants from falling down, because your belly is protruding so much it's forcing your waistline down. I know that feeling. And I believe that I have a moral duty to try to help others, especially since over 900,000 Americans die each year of heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and other serious health conditions caused by obesity, which is both widespread and pervasive in America, and the metabolic syndrome, which is a cluster of conditions which includes high triglyceride levels, high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and especially visceral fat. And the visceral fat is the fat that surrounds and wraps around the internal organs, which causes adverse metabolic changes, which includes inflammation. So when you see somebody with a protruding belly, I want you to know that a lot of that's not fat, a lot of that's inflammation, and that person's physically sick. And if we could help them, then we should. Okay, that's it for now. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when I create more YouTube videos. And as always, thanks for watching.